Can we just take a second for this glam? Like, I'm living. Hello boys and girls, how are we? How are you doing? So for today's video, we're gonna be doing a huge, ginormous, gigantic makeup haul, okay? I'm so excited. Okay, so I basically have been shopping on Beauty Bay the past few days. This video is actually in collaboration with Beauty Bay, so I'm going to give you a quick run through of who they are in case you don't know. So Beauty Bay is basically an online retailer that stock a ton of brands, like a ton of makeup brands, high-end, affordable. They have their own beauty range as well, like the Beauty Bay own range where they do eyeshadow palettes and highlighters and all of that good stuff. They also have a reward scheme called Tribe, so when you shop on Beauty Bay you can earn Tribe points and basically use that on your next and future purchases. They're just amazing. They're such an amazing brand. I love the sort of vibe of Beauty Bay. I've always loved them, you guys know. And as it is coming up to Black Friday, boys and girls, Beauty Bay are doing a ton of discounts, sales, offers on the site. So you can also get an app for Beauty Bay as well in case you didn't know that, so you can download it as an app on your phone too. Everything in terms of brands that are stocked on Beauty Bay are up to 30% off, and then Beauty Bay own brand products are actually up to 50% off, so literally up to half price, which is amazing. Picked out a lot of products because I kind of wanted to just test out a bunch of new stuff. Like you guys know, I've really been into trying new makeup at the minute, so I came up with this look here. I'm actually filming this video a little bit differently, so the way we're going to do this is I'm going to talk you through the products as if it's a beauty haul, a makeup haul. But I have also just filmed this on camera as well, so I'm going to put the clips on top when I'm talking about specific products. So I'm going to talk through everything in the order that I applied it to my face so that you can see how they work and apply as well. I really hope you guys like the concept of this video, and obviously a big thank you to Beauty Bay for collaborating with me. I love you guys forever, for life. I'm going to put the discount on the screen. I'm going to turn this camera down actually before I do anything, okay, because it suddenly got quite light outside. Thank you. Yeah, I'm going to put the discounts of each product on the screen as I'm talking through, and everything will be linked down below as well if you want to pick up anything for yourself. So as I said, I'm going to be doing this in terms of what I did and applied to my face first so that you can see the whole tutorial throughout as well. So you guys know I always start with brows, and I really wanted to pick up a new brow pencil because, to be honest, I kind of get like stuck in my ways with brows and I end up using a lot of the same products, so I kind of wanted to branch out and try something different. So I picked up the Kevyn Aucoin. I hope that's how you pronounce it. If I butchered it, I'm really sorry. This is the Kevyn Aucoin, the Precision Brow Pencil, and I got the shade Dark Brunette and Brunette. So the shade that I decided to use today was the darker shade, the Dark Brunette shade. And I actually really love the style of this pencil. It's quite a slim brow pencil, which I personally really like. I'm definitely a slim brow pencil type of girl. I don't really like brow definers, like the ABH brow definer for example. I'd rather use Brow Wiz. I just like a skinny brow pencil, and this actually applied really nicely and was quite quick and easy to use. The lighter shade might have matched me a little bit better, but because obviously I've got darker hair at the minute, I wanted to try and like use something a little bit darker to what I usually would. But yeah, it was really good at penciling out and creating the shape for my brow. I do my arch a little bit higher than my natural arch, and it was amazing at doing that. And then in terms of priming the lids, you guys know I always use concealer for that, so I'm going to quickly mention the concealer that I use, but I'll get into it a little bit more when I actually used it on the skin. So for concealer, I picked up the JOUER Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer, and this has hyaluronic acid, it is oil-free, creaseless, and a soft matte finish. So I got the shades Macadamia and Wheat, which I swatched and I'll show you in the clip. Wheat was definitely my shade. It was a little bit lighter and a little bit more kind of warm yellow toned, whereas Macadamia was a little bit darker and more of like a pinky tone. So I used that to prime the eyes. As I said, I use this on the rest of the skin as well. I did find it's quite a thick consistency and it's quite a dry consistency, so if you're the sort of person who likes to use concealer to prime your eyes but then doesn't like to set it down, I feel like this would be a really good option because it kind of like set itself. You didn't really have to, I didn't have to powder it, I still did just because I personally like to do that, but yeah, I feel like it'd be really good for priming eyes if you like to use concealer and no powder, because it was very dry in terms of the texture, but not in a bad way, just quite moussey, if that makes sense. And then in terms of eyes, I actually picked up quite a few new palettes from Beauty Bay because there was a lot on offer. So I got a Zoeva palette, Zoeva, I think it's Zoeva. This whole video is just gonna be me pronouncing stuff wrong, so apologies in advance, okay? I picked up the Zoeva Spice of Life eyeshadow palette. I saw this on the website and I absolutely fell in love, like especially for this time of year. It's got really nice sort of cranberries and warm browns to it. Like this matte especially is just screaming my name. I didn't use it in today's video, but I'm definitely gonna save it for another time. And then again, more on like the berry side in terms of eyeshadows, I also picked up the Beauty Bay Berry 9 color palette. So Beauty Bay eyeshadows, first off, just want to say really affordable, but incredible for the money. Like I've always thought this about Beauty Bay eyeshadows, they absolutely killed it with the palettes when they started bringing them out. So this one is the 9 berry collection in the Everything You Need collection. That's what it looks like on the outside. It has the EYN. Really nice kind of assortment of colours. It's got a couple of mattes in there and then it's got some more shimmery shades as well. This matte, again, I don't know what it is, I'm just always drawn to like the matte shades in palettes. Like I don't know if that's just me. And then in terms of the palette I did actually use on my eyes today, it was again one of the Beauty Bay own palettes. So this is the EYN Fiery Matte palette. This is actually an all matte edition, so they do kind of a whole range of palettes in these like mini collections. So I feel like you can get up to, I think it's up to 42 eyeshadow palettes, which are quite big. You can also get some that are all matte, you can get some that are all shimmers, you can get some like the berry one that I just showed you, which is kind of a mixture. Like they're really versatile and you can really kind of find one that's customized to what you want. This, as soon as I opened it, I was like, this is the palette that I'm using. Like I just said, I am so drawn to matte shades. I don't know what it is, I just love them. Especially the colours in here, the fact that it's got like this really gorgeous red, which I did use in the crease. So I'll put a quick like overlay of what I did in terms of the eyes. So this was all I used in terms of crease colours. I basically mixed Pumpkin Spice and Sincere, which are the two more lighter shades for my main crease colour, and then I added in all of the deeper shades. So I went in with a little bit of Sunset. I used the more like burgundy shades as well, and I also used the burgundy to actually smoke out the liner that I did as well. I just used the whole mix of those, and honestly, like they're the easiest eyeshadows to work with. They blend like a dream. Sorry, they're just so beautiful. In terms of my lid shades, I actually used the Artist Couture Diamond Bronze Diamond Lights Finisher. So I'd never tried one of these before. I haven't really tried a lot from Artist Couture, but I've always heard amazing things. Rachel is always raving about the highlighters, so yeah, I wanted to pick something up. So this, in terms of the formula, is kind of like a loose, almost like a loose pigment, but also a glitter. It's quite chunky, so I did actually use a little bit of kind of like, it wasn't oil, but just kind of like glittery glue, if that makes sense, like glitter liquid to kind of mesh it together, because I tried applying it dry and it was just a little bit too chunky. Applied really nicely once I kind of mixed it in with like the mixing medium. I just kind of patted it on the lid and then just really like blew it out into the crease shades as well, and I feel like it created a really nice look. So that I'm obsessed with. I can't wait to use that a little bit more. And then in terms of pencil liners, I picked up two. So I picked up one from Melt Cosmetics because I hear so many good things about Melt in terms of the eyeshadows and just like the eye products in general, and I've not really explored them a lot as a brand, so I kind of wanted to do that a little bit more. So this is the All Day Everyday eyeliner in the shade Columbia. And then I also got one of the JOUER Slim Cream eyeliners. This one is in the shade Matte Brown. I found that the JOUER one was a little bit more cool toned and the Melt one was definitely more of like a bronzy shade, and it was kind of a little bit creamier on the skin as well. So I opted to use the Melt eyeliner as kind of like a wing liner, but also just to kind of like smoke out on the lash line because I knew I was going to be putting lashes on. In terms of gel liner, I've actually not used a gel liner in the longest time. Like I've just been stuck with using liquids at the minute. I don't know why. It's kind of just what I transitioned into, even though when I first started makeup I would always use gel. So I thought I'd pick up a new Anastasia Beverly Hills Jet waterproof cream colour. I actually use this mostly in the upper tight line, like my tight line just under my lash line, if that makes sense, because I always will line with black there when I'm going to be putting lashes on, because it helps to conceal and make your lash line look thicker. And the fact that it's waterproof just means it's going to stay in place really well. I actually got that tip from a Jaclyn Hill video that I watched quite a while ago. I think she mentioned about using gel rather than a pencil. So yeah, really easy. I just used an angled brush, and then I did also use it on the lash line as well. I did also pick up some new lashes as well. So I got some Doll Beauty lashes and some unicorn lashes, which are the ones that I'm wearing. So the Doll Beauty ones are in the style Esmeralda. Packaging is gorgeous. They're a very full lash. And then in terms of the unicorn lashes that I'm wearing today, these are in the style Apple Sours. I'm gonna put the brightness down again because it keeps getting like lighter and lighter outside, I swear. The thing that I actually really liked about these lashes is they were pre-cut, kind of, or maybe not pre-cut, but they were just a much shorter lash band than what most lashes are, so I didn't have to trim them at all. They were just perfect. Oh my god, I literally just filmed so much without realizing that the camera had cut out, so great. I was talking about the Elemis products that I picked up as well. So I've just gone through all the eye stuff that I used and picked out, and now we're going to do the skin and the face products as well. So Elemis is not a brand that I've used before, but I've heard literally the most amazing things, and it is quite expensive in terms of the products. So I feel like if you're going to pick something like this up, it's good to do it whilst it's got the discount on, because of course it's in the Beauty Bay Black Friday sales. So the first thing that I picked up is the Elemis Superfood Day Cream, which is a prebiotic day cream. This is actually the cream that I used today before my primer. It absorbed a lot quicker than what I expected it to, so I feel like if you want something as like your day-to-day moisturizer and you don't really like any extra residue on the skin, I feel like you would really like this. I feel like it worked really well under my foundation and with the primer that I used as well. It did a good job of hydrating, but like I said, it didn't have any extra residue, which I'm not usually used to because I do usually prefer quite thick moisturizers. So I did actually pick up another moisturizer from Elemis as well, which I feel like is probably going to be a little bit thicker. So this is the Pro Collagen Marine Cream, and this again is a day cream. Obviously I've not tried this yet, so I'm going to save that for another day, but I'm really excited to try that out. And then I also picked up the Elemis Superfood Facial Wash, which is a prebiotic gel cleanser. Basically it says that you can use it morning and evening. You just kind of apply it and lather it onto the skin and then rinse it off. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to have a shower after this anyway, so I'm going to give this a go then and see what it's like. And then last but not least from Elemis, I picked up the Superfood Facial Oil, which I'm pretty sure this especially is quite expensive. So again, if you want to pick it up, make sure you do it whilst the discount is on. I'm really excited to try that. To be honest, I kind of wish that I'd mixed it in with the foundation that I used today, which I'm going to talk about next, because I feel like it would have worked really well with that, and it was a little bit more of a matte foundation that I used. So in terms of foundation and like base products, I picked up two. So I got the Kevyn Aucoin The Sensual Skin Enhancer in the shade SX05. It is kind of tricky to pick out shades in terms of foundations and concealers online. I feel like I nailed the concealers, but unfortunately these were a little bit too light. I feel like I still managed to make it work, like looking at the finished look now, but it definitely was a little bit too light for me. And then the other foundation I picked out is the JOUER Essential High Coverage Cream Foundation in the shade Biscuit. And again, this was a little bit on the light side for me, but it's okay. We made it work. So I kind of used the two together because initially I was hoping one was going to be a little bit darker and maybe like help in terms of the colour, but it was then also quite good just to kind of see the different formulas and stuff. So the Sensual Skin Enhancer is actually a lot thicker than I expected it to be. I think this is kind of more of a multi-purpose. It can be used in a lot of different ways. You can use it as concealer as well. So I did actually quite like that. I'm just gonna probably find a different way to use it for me. The JOUER foundation, I actually really like this. I have used this once before when I was filming at Beauty Bay one time, but it was a long time ago and I just forgot to pick it up for myself. So I actually really like this. I'm going to purchase another shade that's a bit darker for me because I feel like this was definitely too light, but I like the fact that it gives such good coverage, but it's still quite thin in terms of the consistency and like the way it feels on the skin. I can't really feel it on the skin, which I really like, so I'm excited to use that a little bit more. And then I also used a little bit of the Anastasia Stick Foundation in the shade Mink. This is very cool toned, just a little warning. So if you're the sort of person that likes a really cool contour, then I feel like you would really love this. And then back onto the JOUER High Coverage Liquid Concealer, I use this under the eyes. So again, I use the shade Wheat by itself. This applies so beautifully, like considering it is a more drier formula, formula and I have quite dry skin, it still looked really beautiful on the skin. It wasn't too thick, it wasn't too heavy. And then I wanted to pick up a new powder because you guys know I'm on the hunt for like a good loose powder. I already have one in my collection that I love so much, but I'm really wanted to find something in the Beauty Bay sale that kind of matches that for me, and have to say, like, I am so impressed with this. So this is the Kevyn Aucoin loose powder. I think it's a universal shade. I was so impressed, like it's so fine. Like I have never used a finer loose powder than this. It literally doesn't even really feel like you're applying anything to the skin, but it mattifies so quickly. And I feel like because I'd already had quite a matte base on, it was probably a little bit too matte for my skin. But I feel like in terms of my day-to-day makeup and stuff, this would look so beautiful with some of the more dewy foundations that I've got as well. In terms of bronzer, I picked up the JOUER bronzer Jouer the JOUER palette. So this is what it looks like inside. It comes with a slightly lighter shade and then also a slightly deeper, more cool toned shade as well. They're not fully matte, these bronzers, which I personally really like. I feel like bronzers that have a little bit more of like a satin, like soft finish to them blended really beautifully onto the skin. So I just kind of used the lighter shade today and I actually really liked it. Like it wasn't super intense in terms of the pigmentation to the point where it, you know, it applied and it looked really heavy. It just kind of blended in really nicely and sat really well. And then in terms of highlighter, I picked up one of the Beauty Bay palettes. So this is the Living My Best Light palette in the shade, or like the collection Delicate. So it basically comes with 4 shades inside, and obviously you've got a mirror. Hello, you can see my camera. So I mixed the 2 light shades in terms of like the more goldy shades, so Precious and Dazzle, and honestly, like I said, Beauty Bay own products, like the quality is insane. They just kind of speak for themselves. Like they're so pretty. So those on the skin, it looked really lovely, and I love the fact that even this shade was still light enough to highlight on me with this lighter foundation. So really love that. And then, oh my god, probably one of my favorite products of this whole haul, this is one of the Artist Couture Diamond Glow Powders in the shade Illuminati, which honestly, I feel like this is the product that Rachel always talks about when she mentions Artist Couture, and honestly, I have slept on these highlighters. Like, it's so beautiful. Really pretty. Like, a really pretty kind of goldy, like, iridescent shade. Really nice in terms of the formula. I feel like some loose highlighters can come across a bit chunky, say if they've got more of like a glitter element to them, but these are just so smooth on the skin. Just applied like a dream. Like, honestly, I feel like it made my cheeks wet. I did want to pick up some new blushes as well because I actually am really into using blush at the minute. So I picked up the Zoeva Coral Spectrum palette, which basically comes with 4 blushes. You can also pick this up in a bronzer edition as well. But yeah, it's basically got 2 more pinky tones and then 2 more neutral tones here. So I mixed one of the neutrals and one of the pinky tones because I kind of wanted quite like, not an obvious blush, but I definitely wanted a bit of a rosy cheek, if that makes sense, because I just thought it'd tie in really well with the eyes. So I definitely wanted to use one of the more pinky shades, but again, the thing that I love about this, not too intense in terms of the pigmentation to the point where you apply it and it's like you've literally got like clown cheeks, you know what I mean? Like, it's still really soft and beautiful on the skin. Okay, and then the only other things that I picked up from the Beauty Bay sale are lip products. So I picked up 2 lip liners, which I did swatch and I'll show you in the clip now. So I picked up one of the JOUER lip liners in the shade Nude, which is actually the colour that I ended up wearing today. And then I also picked up a Melt lip liner in the shade Nudist, which this is definitely a little bit more kind of on the purpley lilac pink side. So I feel like because we've got more of an orange eye on the go, I wanted more of a brown nude, which is why I opted for the JOUER one. And honestly, applied like a dream, like so easy, really fine tip, so really easy to line and create the shape for my lips. Just looked really beautiful on. And then in terms of the actual lipstick, again, this is probably one of my favorite products. So this is the Dose of Colours satin lipstick in the shade Glazed, which I swear I've owned this before. Maybe it's like at the office, maybe I've lost it, or maybe I just swatched it one time and didn't buy it. But as soon as I saw that this was part of the sale, like I had to pick it up because it's such a beautiful like peachy pink nude, like honestly obsessed. And then for gloss, again, this is an Artist Couture product, so I picked up the lip gloss in the shade Sugar Baby. These are called Diamond Lip Tease. I think I have one more of these, but I can't remember what the shade's called. It might be Climax. These are so beautiful. Like, they've got the most gorgeous like little specks of glitter in, but they don't feel glittery on the lips, which is such a big thing for me because I've had lip glosses before, sorry, that had that kind of more glitter look and they look beautiful, but when you kind of like rub your lips together, you can feel the glitter and it feels like you've got sand on your lips. Like, it's just not the one. So yeah, I really love that, and that pretty much completed this full face. So I feel like I picked up some really good stuff, saved a lot of money. Everything will be listed down below. A big thank you to Beauty Bay for sponsoring this video. If you've got any questions about anything that I spoke about, please do ask in the comments because I'm always reading through and always replying to you guys, you know. But yeah, I'm gonna get going anyway. I'm actually going to Wales for a couple of days with my boyfriend. So yeah, I'm gonna get going, but thank you so much for watching. I love you guys as always, and I will see you in the next one.